We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way.
What's up, everybody? Today, we are with Tom Ferry. So we're going to go over a bunch of different stuff on multifamily investing, why it's so important to become a true real estate professional, and why he's been crushing this industry for the past 30 years. Stay tuned. This is going to be fun.
Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives us...
We do all the tags, everything?
What's happening is right now we are with the man, the myth, the legend, Tom Ferry. We're having secret meetings at his HQ, and he's in the back running around hiding. But you're going to see a lot more from Tom today. We got his crews, we got our crews. Game on. This whole thing here, I'll talk to you guys real quick. This whole thing with social media, you have a phone, you do this, you tag whoever you're with in real time, use whatever hashtag you want, and then you go and you keep moving. You use Instagram stories as your daily vlog to build trust in market, to let people know what you're actually doing in real time. Like, everything has to be in real time, not old stuff that worked in 2010 is dead right now.
2010?
It's like an eternity ago, right?
Exactly. What were you doing in 2010?
I was very much flipping like 200 houses a year, and I was in it.
Yeah.
And we couldn't miss, and that was another thing. That was good and bad. So as those huge margins moved, we were dumb enough and smart enough at the same time to realize we should start buying dirt, flat parcels. All the developers about to start building again.
Pre-entitled or entitled?
No. Flat dirt.
Yeah.
We were so dumb, we paid cash instead of having an entitled first. But we hit so many home runs because we didn't know any better. So anyways, no, you tied up for a year. You have a title, then you close it, goes on. I'm like, that makes way more sense.
If you don't know, you don't know, right? That's how you learn.
And we started the whole like all those parcels and stuff afterwards. We just started on a small line, right? And I'm like, we have to hammer a nail, and we're gonna make the same. Oh, this is way better. Here's the risk. This is cost.
So this is, I'll give you the fast version. So 7th floor is where success reps are in all of our sales division. So we have about 80 salespeople in the company. We have 4 different groups. Appointment setting group that set appointments for all the consultants here, right? So all of these consultants that we do, it's called 16,000 inquiries a month for, hey, we're interested in your coaching services. They click on an ad, they email us, they call us, whatever. So from that, we'll end up doing, call it 8,000 appointments. From that, it's basically like at the end of the day, it's a 10% conversion. No hard close, just this is what we do and this is how we do it. Like, are you ready? Are you not ready? Where are you in the process, right? Like, do you need training? Then go do that, because coaching and training are two totally different things, right? Like, read this book, get this manual, go to this course, learn, versus I want someone to write my plan with me and hold me accountable and give me strategies and tactics. Totally different.
And completely different price points.
Totally different price points. So that's kind of the top of the coaching. Where's the training? I'm still kind of.
That's what happens when you get a bunch of square footage. I'm trying to figure it out.
Dane Carter in the house.
Good morning, everybody. Today on the Dane Carter Show, we are with the man, the myth, the legend, and yes, I say that a lot, but that's the caliber of people we have on this show, Mr. Tom Ferry. We're going to dive very deep into Facebook ads. We're going to dive deep into Instagram. We're going to dive deep into YouTube, which is crazy white space right now. For anybody with even $200 in a budget, can be very effective, as you know. So let us know. It's hard to say. It's not where did you get started, because that's a very cliched and cheesy question. What was the point when you were young where you knew you were maybe a little bit different than maybe your siblings or maybe certain people in your family, because you are a very competitive person like I am?
Yes. I was reflect on two things. I was actually talking to my biological mom, and I have many people I refer to as mom in my life. But my biological mom, when my dad called her, I was sitting on their bed, and my mom answered the phone, and she said, hung up, and turned to me and said, "Your father's leaving us." And my older brother broke down in tears, and it was in that moment that I became a leader. In that moment, I became a man, because it was suddenly like, okay, well, I have two younger siblings I need to take care of. My older brother's crying in the corner. My mom is distraught. So I'm responsible now for food, for cooking, for cleaning, for whatever it was. And I just, in that moment, I stepped into that. Yeah, like I just knew, like, this is my calling, right? This is what I have to do. It's, you know, like that's not a new story, but that's when you see that kid that says, my parents are in trouble, or my siblings are in trouble, or my friend's in trouble. Some people lean into that, and some people run from it. I just leaned in. The second thing that I knew when I knew, like as a kid, that I was going to be, I was definitely different from everybody else, is I was the guy that could convince the entire high school, and I went to 5 of them, so I had a lot of experience in this, to basically leave school and go to somebody else's house and throw a major party. Yes. And I dominated that, like, for the longest time. And it, you know, like, never at my house, heaven forbid, right? I wouldn't do that to my mom and my my sibs. But I was that guy that could literally just, you know, we're talking like pre-Snapchat, pre-texting, pre-email. Yeah. You know, there was no flyers. No, like I would literally sneak out of class and just walk from like class to class and just signals and come on, we're going, like, bam. At the lunch break, no one came back. It was just super fun.
This sounds very familiar. And I'm sure you guys have heard this over and over again from me. It's very similar because it happened when I was 4. My parents got divorced. Yep. We were living in San Diego. We back to Long Beach. Yeah. And my mom was distraught. Yeah. She was crushed. Yeah. And I knew right then I had to take care of my little brother. Yep. I had to be the support system for her. I was 4. Like, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old now. I couldn't imagine putting that on them. I know. But like, that was my path. Yeah. Same thing with me in high school. I would throw these massive parties and not go to like the prom or the dance, but they would come back to my house with the kegs. I'd charge $3 at the door, and I'd make like a G, and it was the greatest thing ever. Yeah. I've always been that way. And I've always been that, like, everybody's gonna come with me. For me and my friends, it was, we're gonna leave and go surf and not come back. Yeah. So that's 100%
same path.
So you decided at a very young age that you were gonna go all in with your family and all in with, you know, your mom, and just kind of figure it out, right? Yep. So that part is really, really important, and you hit it perfectly. Some people run from it, and some people freeze in just fear, and some people accept that that's their path. Yep. And it happens to me over and over again as I reinvent myself, as I go into different careers, and you have to have that, either I'm going all in or I'm not. Yeah. I mean, it's,
why do you think most people run and hide from it?
I think it's other people's fears that they've adopted, and I think they feel like it's theirs, but they have way more power and control than they give themselves credit for. I think it starts very young. I've done a lot of research on the psychology of 0 to 7 years old and what happens to you in that space. And it really affirms a lot of stuff that leads into adulthood, which is why they hire people like us to maybe help work them through some of those things in business. Because those locks are really, really detrimental to growth in business.
Have you read Dr. Carol Dweck's book, The Growth Mindset?
No, but I've heard about it.
Okay, you need to read. I'll give you a copy today. Like,
I would love to
digest it. It's, you know, for the people that are listening, Dr. Carol Dweck. The book is called Mindset, which immediately when you think of that, you think, you know, pop psychology, you think motivation, you think, you know, personal development. You know, she's a clinical psychologist who did this sort of thesis work on kids at, you know, 4 years old and under have an experience in their life that basically shape how they view the world, right? And the way she describes 100%. It is, you're either in what's called a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. A fixed mindset, you freeze in, you know, when there's something new delivered or some new piece of information that you don't understand. You know, when take the classic example of a kid in school, you're sitting in the back of the class, never raising your hand, not being engaged, right? Because either you're afraid to make a mistake, you're afraid of rejection, you're afraid of saying the wrong thing, and then you wake up and you're 55 and you're operating the same exact way, 100%. Right? Fixed mindset. Now it's context specific. You could be a growth mindset with working out and a fixed mindset with your work performance, right? So, right. So, you know, we see it. So I would just recommend for all the people listening this, Tom Bilyeu actually turned me on to it first.
Tom's awesome. Love that guy.
You know, and I'd heard about the book, but when he and I were chatting, I mean, he obsessed over how you can. And what's funny is like I got it for all my coaches, and I have like 170 coaches. And so I'd ask them all, like, what did you guys think of the book? They're like, oh my God, it's totally amazing. And like I could tell they only got through the first half.
Of course.
Right? Because in the second half of the book, that's where she basically reveals, like, now here are the strategies to identify when you're in a fixed mindset, and then what to do about it.
Here's the work.
Yeah, the work.
The actual work.
Exactly.
That divides the room 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Who's all fired up and motivated, and who's willing to actually put pen to paper and then go internal.
To do what it takes to actually alter, it goes back to the same thing. It's like it's your identity, right? Your identity is how you believe and what you think about yourself and about the world. All that shapes your beliefs, right? Your values of how you're going to operate, and then ultimately your behaviors, right? So everybody, they want to get better, but their identity doesn't allow them to get better. So until you alter your identity, you don't alter your beliefs and your behaviors.
Right. Now, he's saying you alter your identity, not fake it till you make it.
No, that's bullshit.
It's 100% bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, now I did affirmations as a kid. I'm in the process of attracting $100,000 a month, and I was making like $4 a day, right? It's like I was doing that stuff.
Right.
But everybody's like, oh, well, affirmations are BS. I'm like, no, affirmations are really like significantly better than like CNN or anything else you could watch on the news. But without the work, they're bullshit. You got to do the work and affirm. Do the work and affirm. That's how you change your identity.
That's what I did when I literally stopped working to become healthy.
Yeah,
I wanted to identify as a triathlete before I'd even done a race.
Yeah.
So I trained like I was professional in my brain, had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my mindset started to put me on this path of I'm going to do this until I get great at it.
Yeah.
And I do that with everything.
So interesting you bring that up, because the fastest way to change your identity is through working out, diet, exercise, right? And you look around the world, I mean, we are an obese society. It's disgusting at best. And look, the food propagates it, the government propagates it. The world basically has just said it's just easier to give you fast, really inexpensive, bad for you food, right? And keep making that choice.
So it can control you.
Because it's great for the insurance business. It's great for everywhere. Like we can get into the politics of it all.
Yeah.
But I would just tell you that if you want to change your identity, start doing 10 push-ups every hour on the hour. You want to like watch the football game? That's great. But every commercial break, don't fast forward through. Instead, like do sit-ups, do push-ups, do something. My wife is working with 8 women right now, all in real estate. She launched like some health and vitality products, which was the inspiration of getting breast cancer. Right? Like it took breast cancer for her to finally get off her ass and do what she wanted to do. So breast cancer for her was actually a wonderful gift. But she has these 8 women, and she's working them right now. And the women that were the most resistant, all these women are 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 pounds overweight. And my wife is just talking to them every week, counseling them, pushing them, encouraging them, getting them to follow a better food program, getting them to work out. And I can't say the woman's name, but she came to me this morning after I worked out, did my gratitudes, and made my gratitude call and all my normal stuff in the morning. And she's like, hey, before you go, I got to tell you what's going on with this gal. So this is a woman that is from her parents are obese, her kid is obese, her husband's obese, everyone that is normal for her is obese. And when she said, I'm going to start working out and eating healthy, literally her family members were like, if you do that kind of stuff, you're going to die. Like you're going to die. Like imagine that fixed mindset, right?
I get it, man.
She's lost like 37 pounds, which the way my wife was describing it, both, it's showing up in her business, it's showing up in her relationship, it's showing up with the way she's with her kids. She's
self-worth.
Like, I can go in the grocery store and I don't have to lean on the basket anymore to go around. Like, do you get how significant that is?
Those little wins are the most powerful thing in your health, in your business, in your relationships. And it all came from deciding I'm not going to adopt all my family's fears.
Bingo.
I say the same thing with social media, marketing and branding and personal branding. Your friends will unfollow you. Everybody around you will think you're nuts, because it happened to me. It happens to most people.
For sure.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And usually when that's happening, I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, and it's so powerful, because what that does is now she can be the example to her kids. Now she can lead by example to everybody around her.
Yes.
And those success stories, I always get goosebumps because I live for this stuff. I think it's the best.
Yeah, you and me both.
My favorite thing on earth is to help people see their true potential in stuff that I see in them way before they do, because it's happened to me my whole life.
Yeah.
There's people that have been close to me. It's like, Andy, come here. Like, this is what we see. And you're like, where? Yeah. Where is that in me? I don't see it. Yeah. But that's why I love mentors, is they lead.
Hey, stay humble, man. Right?
Humble as hell.
Right? That's the whole thing. Like, they see it in you. We just do the work. Thank you. Like, they lift us up, like as every great coach and mentor does. But man, you just got to do the work.
You're the only one that's going to do it. Everybody's going to fire you up. But when everybody's gone and it's just you and yourself and your mind, that's when the real work shows up, and that's when the real work happens. Every morning, I'm sure it's very similar to yours. It's the first thing I do is I do a 10-minute meditation. I've been doing it for 10 years. It's super important to me. And then I sit in gratitude for 5 minutes, which is new from the past 2 years. It creates this space in my day I can't even explain. And then I work out. Doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes it's like the bike. Sometimes it's whatever, lifting, yoga, whatever I'm doing. I'm moving my body physically. Then
break a sweat.
Break a sweat. Then my 2 little monkeys wake up, 3 and 5. They're my whole world. I play with them. My wife's still sleeping. God bless her. She sleeps in. She's a spicy Italian. I heard that you were married to an Italian. So love that. But she likes to sleep. So that's cool. And then the nanny shows up and we have like family time. And then she gets up. I get the house dialed in before I even think about business. I'm all about that. It's like, it's a little OCD, like with the house I'm a
thing.
little OCD too.
You and me both. Like, you know, my wife's like, you walk inside my, you know, like in our closet, and it's like her clothes versus my clothes. Now, fortunately, we have like her closet in my closet.
We do
otherwise, you know, I would go insane.
And we did. There's been times I've walked into our bedroom and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, and I'll walk out because I literally have that. Where everything is where it's supposed to be. I have the same money clip since I was 21 years old. Like, I don't lose stuff because I put it in the same place. Simple stuff. But for me, it's that it's creating my day on my terms, which a lot of people talk about. And, you know, I was with Ed Milet probably 3-4 weeks ago. Great guy. And again, very humble and down to earth. And he's like, you and I are really similar. And I'm like, I think you're a great guy. Like, we just tried to talk. He's a great human being. And those are the kind of people that I want on this show. It's the people that are humble, people that are adding value, people that are trying to help. And not just like, I'm here to make a buck. You can tell instantly someone that's in it for the cash. And it's all over the internet. So I'm trying to help people like yourself.
They have to do videos,
man,
saying it's not all about the cash.
It's so
just saying. I've seen a few of those.
What's happened in 2018 is like the year of the online coach. And then you have somebody like yourself that's literally invested your entire life's work into this. And the difference. I mean, it's just night and day. There's people that literally go to one of your seminars, get fired up, gets all of the IP of your whole world, and then they go to YouTube and try to like, we're going to teach you how to get more listings. And I'm like, you just word for word clipped Tom.
But I mean, I don't know about you, but I actually appreciate that.
I do
stuff.
too. It's flattering.
I say congratulations, keep up the good work. The world needs a lot of flavors, right? Like, so, you know, like I've had this conversation with many of my contemporaries. Like, it's, you know, we're all flavor, right? So some people like orange, some people like blue, some people like vanilla, some people like chocolate, like whatever, right?
100%.
So, but I'm with you. I wouldn't even say it's 2018. I mean, I've been doing this now for 30 years, and which is weird because I'm 48 years old. Like, it's
crazy, right?
It's literally all I've ever done. Do you watch or do you follow The Rock?
Oh yeah.
Right, DJ. So he did something recently that was really interesting. He talked about the greatest thing he never achieved. Did you see that clip? And it's super interesting because it really helped frame something in my own world. But I just, you know, his thing was all he ever wanted to do was be a professional football player, right? So train, eat, work out, play, all the way up until the Canadian Football League. And at 21, he plays in his first game ever. He's arrived. Now it's the Canadian, it's not the NFL.
Oh, I have seen this. I have seen this, yeah.
And then he gets cut. And he said, it was the greatest thing I never achieved because had I gone down that path, I would have never done, he wouldn't be where he is today.
No way.
Right? Which is just a fabulous, so like I look at those people and say, man, go for it. It may be the greatest thing you never achieved, and it may be the greatest thing you ever did.
There's these little gems in everything we do and every experience we have. That's the beauty of this unbelievable path we're on. It's fun, it's exciting. And there was a post you did maybe 2 or 3 days ago. It was on Instagram, and you were responding to somebody's question.
Yeah.
And it was something to the effect of, it was this long post. Here's what you should do. You should do that. Da, da, da. And then you closed with, and then work your face off for 10 years straight.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's real.
I think that was the guy who said, like, how do I become a
speaking or
professional
something?
speaker?
Yes,
and I was
that's
like, man, well, first of all, like, grab a phone, hit Facebook Live, and go
And roll, right.
But I think, sitting here now, again, like it's almost weird to say 3 decades in, but people so grossly overestimate what they can accomplish in 3 months, a month, a day,
man.
a week,
100%.
a year, and I'm all about, like, every 5 to 7 years I rewrite a 20-year plan, right? Because I'm all about, like, legacy, like my family, like the vision of the home that we're gonna have, and seeing, I can see it, like, it's so clear in my head, like my son throwing my grandchild in the air, like that vision is so tight in my head that people just, like, I'm all about the long game. Now, I'm enjoying every minute along the way.
Of course.
But when you have that longer term perspective in business and in life, right? In business and in life, when you have that longer term perspective, when the world becomes a shit burrito, you don't take it personally.
Nope.
Right? Because it's all part of the journey, right? But when you're living in the moment and the world goes sideways, you're screwed.
You have nothing to hold on to.
Bingo.
You're going to go down the toilet just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And there's all this doom and gloom about the real estate market and all this stuff, and everybody, I'm like, settle down. One, the greatest opportunities to ever come to real estate are in this space.
Yes.
And exactly what's going on right now.
And all the studies actually show the 200 greatest economists in real estate are all saying 2021 is when the next quote unquote recession is going to have.
Right.
And when you study the last 7 recessions, only one had an impact on the real estate economy.
Right, which was the 2008 one.
2007,
but if you look
8,
at,
9,
like, you have to study the history. You have
Yeah.
to study the math.
Yeah.
I make all my decisions based on history and math.
Yep.
And most of those people, all those brilliant economists,
Yes.
they don't think the real estate market's affected at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little bit, but
But again, it's so even right now. So we sit in a unique position because we've got 7,000 clients that are all over the world. But let's just take the U.S. group specifically. If you look at the math right now, it's an adjustment that looks something like this. If you're in the upper 1/3 price range anywhere in the world, right? That's a little softer right now. But there's micro markets everywhere, right? The north of $15 million price range right now in Manhattan is on fire, right? The coastal Orange
it's
County.
discounted.
No, it's actually you're not seeing big discounts necessarily,
Okay.
right? Now you will see. Here's the way it works. What a nice home in the high end comes on the market that's priced relatively close, not $2 million worth of padding for what we used to have in terms of appreciation. Call it 12 to even 16, 17. If it's priced reasonably close and it's a nice house, it sells really fast.
Of course.
The problem is right now, if you're studying the MLS or you're studying the hot sheets, what you're seeing is a tremendous amount of properties that the seller's trying to cash out at the highest possible price because of the market, but they didn't make the price, they didn't make the house nice. They didn't, like, buyers have choices. Right? Buyers have choices. If I'm going to buy a crappy house, I'm not going to pay a premium price.
Of course.
But if you show me a beautiful house with a stunning view, with a great floor plan, with maybe furniture included, and you price it with a premium, I'm going to negotiate with you. I'm going to bid on that property. Right? That's what you're seeing right now. But if you look at the bottom 2/3 pricing, it's completely on fire.
It's on fire.
We talk to our clients that are selling $250,000 houses in Destin, Florida, and they're like, we keep hearing people talk about this. What are they smoking out there? Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're on fire.
We
California,
see the same thing all over the country.
Same thing, right? So, again, I can get super heated on this because there's so many people creating a negative narrative right now.
Of course.
And look, like, that may work in the stock market. Write a bad article about Zillow or Bank of America or some other company, and if you have influence, maybe you'll get the stock to adjust and you can short it and make some money. But in the residential real estate world and the commercial, forget the commercial real estate world.
Right.
Is that ever going to end?
No.
Was there even a bad part in 2008, 9, 10?
Nope.
I mean, it's right. So, like, people got to really get the facts.
And that's the part, and you make a great point, Tom. You need to listen to your real estate professional that's educated. And that's where you come into play to keep them educated.
Bingo.
Because the math and the metrics, how you frame the conversation with your clients is paramount.
Yes.
If you talk about, here's what we're going to do, there's going to be some kind of correction, it's totally normal, here's what it looks like, this is the part that's soft, but here's why. You give them more information so they can make a quality decision to list the price at here or there.
Yep. Bingo.
And then you have the room and the expectations are set. So you're not like, you said I was going to sell this for $6 million.
Yeah.
and we haven't even got an offer for 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the agent's fault. That's
100%,
the realtor's fault.
100%. Someone made a better sales pitch. It was the seller, not the agent.
100.
You know what's interesting too? You think about just seller expectations, client expectations. It's the same in every business, right?
Of course.
At the end of the day, our job is to be the educator, the person that studies the facts, studies the numbers, and then displays it in a way that says, now, Andy, does this make sense? How can we move forward? Our job is to help. Like, nobody wants to be sold.
Nope.
Nobody wants to be closed, right?
No.
We want to be informed so we make a good decision, move forward, and feel confident about it.
There's a huge gap in the real estate market with exactly what you just said.
I know.
I think it's because there are people that don't want to invest in the time to get this crucial knowledge because it's been so hot for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
They list it in sales.
Yeah.
Why do they have to invest in their own self-education?
What was your marketing plan? I hit enter in the MLS.
12 offers.
Right? I must be really good. I should be a coach.
I'm the greatest. I'm going to create a seminar at an online academy.
Yes.
It kills me.
Yeah.
Because
But do you look at the way the real estate, like the industry, like 1.3 million agents, NAR, and then maybe the other 1 million shadow people that are not a part of NAR, right? And they, maybe like yourself, that they're flipping and they're doing deals. I look at that NAR number of 1.3 million. Let's be clear, that is only there for one reason: lobbying. That's all it is. Get the dues. Let's go lobby. And look at Bob Goldberg and the people that are running NAR. I love you. This is not a knock on you, but let's just call it for what it is.
Let's just
right?
be real, right?
Right. But then you look at the actual data, and it's like half the people don't sell houses, right? So you really don't have 1.3 million agents. You might have 1.3 million people paying dues and membership fees, and that's great for lobbying. But 600,000 are selling a house. And then when you break that down, there's only 43,000 people in the U.S. that sold more than 25 transactions.
That's right.
Right?
You have to look at the transactional data.
For sure.
Period. The end.
For sure. So I recently partnered with Steve Murray and a company called Real Trends. So they created the America's Best Real Estate Agents, which means you sold more than 50 homes or you did more than $20 million in sales volumes to qualify to be on that list.
That's fair.
And then the top 1,000, we then published inside the Wall Street Journal, and we ranked them based upon solo agent or team transactions and volume, right? And just straight out of the MLS or straight from their brokers, right? Signed off and with all that integrity. But here's the deal: on the America's Best, there's only 15,000 agents. So only 15. So there's 43,000 that sell 25 or more. There's only 15,000 that either do $20 million or more in volume. Now remember, that could be one house in Beverly Hills,
Sure can,
or 50 or more transactions. So it's a really interesting time right now in real estate.
I could not agree with you more. And it's a fun time. It's
Absolutely.
a fun time to get really educated. It's a
Yes.
fun time to set a definitive marketing plan, maybe for the first time ever, that doesn't consist of dropping a pad of paper up on somebody's porch.
Bingo.
When you can literally digitally farm with Facebook ads and targeting, like you talk about a lot.
Yep.
Massive part of my message. If you're not dominating your zip codes based on that, you're just blowing it.
Yeah.
Instagram stories, you're using it as a daily vlog to let your potential clients know what you do.
Yep.
Do you know how many deals I've got because I'm a good dad?
For
because
sure.
I'm home at 3 o'clock every day and I tell people like, oh, he's a good guy. As I'm doing what I say I'm doing.
Yeah, because you're relatable. You're real, right?
Well, and that's another big part that I talked to a lot of our clients about. I'm like, I just went to your Instagram.
Yeah.
And I saw perfect kitchen, perfect bathroom, perfect house, perfect door.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Airbrushed photo.
Yeah. I'm like, come on. Like, people need to know this is a personal business.
Yeah.
It's a transactional business based on relationships.
Yep.
I don't care if you've sold 2 deals or 200. They're going to do business with you as a person.
And we're not talking just real estate. We're talking agents.
Everything.
We're talking salespeople. Just like at the end of the day, we like, you look at like the Google did a study a couple of years ago, and I was up at like this real estate symposium with them, and they're basically showing us all this data from Google's analytics on what's happening in the real estate search game. It's phenomenal. Great relationships and wonderful people, and thank them all the time. The number one thing that people are looking for is trust. Right? So that shouldn't shock us, but it's 49% of their decision-making processes. Do I trust you? Now the question becomes, how do you know if I trust you? If all I'm seeing is a static photo on a website with no video, no social, nothing but perfect photos, how do I get to know you? Your bio? Are you kidding me? Like the reviews that you posted on your website? You mean the 7 good ones that you put up there?
Your homies?
Right, exactly. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Right, thanks, my assistant. Like,
exactly.
I think there was an infomercial guy a million years ago actually went to jail because of that, because all of his testimonials were like his niece, his nephew, his brother. Right? I mean, yes, scumbag. Right? So the deal is, like what you're talking about is how do you create trust? When I started my YouTube channel a million years ago, the goal was like, I'm going to put out all of my content for free, which I got, like, this is 10-ish, 11 years ago, like competitors and friends and my dad calling me like, what are you doing? You're giving away the stuff that we all charge 300, 500, 800, 1,000. And I'm like, look, I want to help people. Like the industry sucks. Like the more people that know what to do, the better. They're not all going to watch, they're not all going to listen. But if I can just help that one gal who's a single mom in Indiana list 2 more houses, sell 3 more properties, get her financial house. If I can help that person, it's worth it for me to give it all away for free. Well, fast forward 10 years later, you know, millions of views, 240,000 followers, still doing the same exact thing. And at the end of the day, like, people know exactly who I am. It's trust, right? I am reliable for them, right? And even if I get on an airplane and I'm flying to some fancy place, like whatever, like some people would say that looks showy. And I would say, no, it's like 30 years of working my ass off and I choose not to fly coach, right? Like I have that option now, but they've seen my journey. It wasn't like that 10 years ago. It wasn't like that 20 years ago. It certainly wasn't like that 30 years ago, right? But people evolve with you, right? You got to create that trust. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, it's all a trust mechanism. It's a strategy of trust.
It's the biggest part of the first meeting that we usually have.
Yeah.
We have to establish trusted market.
Bingo.
And they look at me like, well, everybody trusts me. Nope, no one knows you.
No.
So
is your phone ringing off the hook every single day? You getting come list me calls? Or people just trying to bang down your doors to do business with you? That would be trust.
Exactly. Yeah. And that you can track with Google Analytics.
Bingo.
You can track with YouTube
Bingo.
and Facebook.
Yeah.
You can tell if people actually trust you based on their action. People vote with their credit cards.
1000%.
People vote with their emails and they call you. People vote when they want to opt into more information with you.
Bingo.
It's never been easier to build trust and market, but it's still really difficult and takes a lot of time. We have a mutual friend, Gary V, and we're just talking about this exact same thing off camera. What he told me is he put your head down for 2 years and give everything away for free. And I was like, everything for free?
Smart.
I knew he was right, so I did. It has changed my life dramatically. You've been doing it for 10.
Exactly.
Like it's just the right thing to do.
It is.
I have, still to this day, I have a lot of investors. They call me, Andy, shut your mouth about this. You're going to change the way people look at multifamily, like real estate. I'm like, perfect.
Good.
That's my goal.
Good.
I was raised by a single mom, like rented forever. She was like 4th generation renter. I'm trying to change that culture in this country. It's now a choice. I work a lot in Cleveland. There are people that are 3rd generation that literally live in a duplex. Their rent is $550 a month. That duplex is $60,000. They put 3.5% down, $3,000. They could buy that duplex. The mortgage is $480. They could literally live for free. I do little seminars out there and people are in tears.
Know what that means? Stop eating McDonald's 3 times a week. Go
and
to
Starbucks.
the grocery store and like actually make a meal. You'll save money.
You'll get healthier, you'll be happier, and you'll change.
You'll save money.
You'll save money, exactly.
Because the person that's paying $550 a month in rent, $3,000 is like, you know, $400,000 to you.
That's right.
So it's way outside of their identity.
Yes.
Right. So again, change your identity, change your life. Right. So
change your beliefs,
getting
change your worth.
Getting that person to just say, okay, where do I spend money on stupid stuff? Right now, probably nothing to them is stupid, but if anybody with the right mind sat back and said, okay, you probably don't need to have McDonald's like 4 times a week. And this, I'm not hating on McDonald's, though I hate McDonald's.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
You know what I mean? It should be called like, this food's going to kill you.
It's going to kill you slowly,
What's the great line? You dig your grave with your teeth.
With your teeth.
I love that
so
line. Jeff Olson, Slight Edge. But anyway, so I think that's inspiring that you're doing that, and I applaud you for being 2 years in. And I don't know what Gary's final piece of advice is, but I would say don't stop. Don't stop after 2 years.
Yeah, I couldn't stop now if I tried. I get so many DMs from people that don't like one photo. That they don't comment on any picture. They've been following me for a year or two, and they'll send me a huge email or just a DM saying like, "You changed my life." That is what keeps me going. Not all the commas and the zeros in the bank. That me being impactful to that is everything to me.
Who's your mentor on parenting?
That's a great question. So I look at what my mom and dad did poorly and have used that as to what not to do, but I don't really have that's the way that I'm going to raise my kids.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to lead by example and lead by action, not what I say, but what I do. A big thing for me is literally being home at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
3 o'clock every day is massive to my kids. And when my son, who's now 5, was 3 years old, he told my wife that I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
Why is daddy leaving? He doesn't work. And I'm like, I've won as a father.
Yeah.
I'm working my face off, have 5 companies, and my son doesn't think I work.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm trying to do what I didn't have.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody, I'm always more than willing to.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, for me, it's, you know, mommy and me groups. You know, my kids are 19 and 17. So, you know, 3 of my closest friends today were in a mommy and me. They're the dads of the mommy and me group. And we talk about it all the time. We still talk about it. Now we're talking about, you know, first year in college and, you know, a senior in high school, because we're all kind of in that same situation. But we're always in that dialogue, like, how do we help our kids? What's the right approach? How do you not coddle them so much? How do you have to get, like, they have to suffer. They have to experience pain. And when we say this to our wives, God bless their little Bobby socks, they're like, no,
not my babies.
Right?
I built them.
Yeah. And, you know, and then I look at them, and one of the guys has, you know, multi-billion-dollar hedge fund. The other one buys and sells businesses all the time, right? And the other one is the #1 brain surgeon on the West Coast, right? So, like, think about that. Like, I'd hang out with him on a Friday night, and I'm like, oh, man, I had a really rough week. How about you? And he's like, yeah, how was your week? And I'm like, oh, man, I had to be in Cincinnati, New York, Miami. I did this show, and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, I did like 17 brain surgeries.
You're like, you win.
I was like, wow, okay, suck it up, Ferry.
But it's true, and it's a big fear of mine.
Yeah.
My kids are not being raised in the same environment that I was, so there's not that friction point.
Yeah,
and like they live in the nicest neighborhood in Long Beach that I always wanted to live in when I was a kid.
They're screwed.
I know. So there's these pain points
Yeah.
that they need to go through.
Yeah.
I mean, just me looking at my 3-year-old, my 5-year-old, I'm like, and they're running around our beautiful house that we built. I'm like, you guys have no idea. You guys have no clue.
Yeah.
But I love them. But
no, look, and we be clear, like, you know, both my kids are spoiled.
Yeah.
Right. And so going back to your, like with no mentor, with like what you're saying is like, hey, I try and be home at 3 o'clock. The thing I would challenge you on is just consider, with no strategy, every tactic is a good idea.
100%.
Right. So going back to that 20-year vision, like, I have read that for as long as I've been doing 20-year visions, which is now, let's say, my 19, 17, so probably when the boys were 2 and 4, right? I've been reading it to them, so they have this future to live into. And it's not like, I'm not saying, Michael and Stephen, you're going to be doing this and this only. I'm saying, we as a family will be involved in these types of things or something better. And then I see you guys working with Mom and I in certain capacities or something better. And you guys will have your own ventures because you're going to need your own outlet to be your own man. Like,
and you're setting the frame, you're planting the seeds, and you're watering it.
So then when I say to them at 7 and 9, come to my conference, pass out flyers on all the chairs, and then sell for because we do charity things every time, right? So we've raised, I don't even know, $1 million plus in charities where we match whatever the agents are buying, T-shirts, whatever. Sure. Building an orphanage in Africa, you know, Breast Cancer Research Foundation, Wounded Warriors, on and on. And they're back there, and literally they'll walk up to me with, like, you know, $25,000 in cash and hand us the cash. You know, CFO takes it and organizes it and does the donation stuff, and they don't get paid a dime. Right? And like my friends, well, they're working 14 hours a day. I'm like, well, that's what we do when we're doing a seminar, right? Like that's what you do. Like,
you probably did it, right?
Hell yes, right? Same exact deal. That's right. I mean, if I said to you the number of audio cassette programs that
and like stapled pages
that I packed in, shipped, put the the label on, and took out to the UPS guy. You know, like, it's like I don't have audio cassette programs, I think, for that reason, right?
Terrible taste in your mouth.
It's just a negative association. But I think there's something too, like, kids have to suffer. Kids have to experience. You're living proof of it. I'm living, like, you know, this crew right here I'm looking at, like, I certainly know my guys real well. Like, they've suffered, right? And from that, right, you figure out who you really are.
It's the biggest form of growth. Like, and this is something I talk about a lot. I don't learn that much from my wins except for that it feels good. Yeah. My growth comes from my suffering, comes from
breakdowns.
Just all the breakdowns and finding those little chinks in the armor, and I'm like, oh, that got through. Yeah. I need to fix that. Yeah. And that's the only way to really grow. If you're always getting high fives, That's a big problem too with kids nowadays. I'm like, first, second, and third. That's it. Like,
how about first, last?
I get
right.
Well,
like,
that's basically
like,
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm all. My son's a tennis player.
Yep.
There is no better sport to shape one's belief system about hard work, focus, and how precious it is to win than to be a tennis player, especially in Southern California. And he's 6 foot, 170 pounds, serves ball 120 miles an hour. Like
perfect athlete for tennis.
Getting recruited by colleges, but he's not going to play at USC, right? He's not going to play for like the super insane, So I'm being clear. He's good.
Yeah.
He's not incredible,
right?
He's not going to go pro. But when I ask him, how do you go through a year and play in like 25 tournaments and never win? Like, think about it. That's tennis.
That would kill me.
That's tennis. It's not like soccer. We're all on this team thing together and
well, it's a single sport.
It is. You live and die on the court by yourself in your head, right? And you know what? Like, it has made him such an extraordinary young man to be able to live in losing all the time, always striving to be better. It's the greatest gift ever.
It's going to do so much for him, like moving forward.
Bingo.
He's going to owe a ton to it.
Bingo.
It's like, and when I was talking to,
by the way, I'm totally anti football, baseball, soccer. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
I hate the school system. I think I love educators, but I think the entire school system is just an absolute abomination.
That is a perfect transition to what I wanted to bring up again. Was you were in the car, I think it was on like your last vlog or something. I was
with
awesome.
Team Money right over there.
I'm telling you, like that vlog was fire, by the way.
Yeah.
And because you were so into your passion of what you believe in. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I went to school for like a year. It was like a junior college class to be a fireman. And then I went in a totally different direction. I was going to become like the youngest wine sommelier in the country at 21. I'd gone different ways.
Yeah.
It's broken. My wife is the opposite. She's like, you have to go to this at her master's program, Yeah. I'm like, but it's not for everybody.
No.
And it's broken.
No.
And you said something that was so profound. It was to have somebody go to college without some kind of direction and purpose should be illegal.
Yeah.
Like, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Or just go for a year.
If the only purpose is to be $100,000 in debt, you're a dumbass.
Agreed. And you're
sorry, Tristan. I'm not just totally razzing, but you know what I mean. Like, we have that conversation. We're just keeping it real. Like,
that debt can put you in a really negative position for years. And then you have student debt.
Yes.
You have a leased car. You have rent, and you have credit card debt. Now you have to work.
Yeah. So, by the way, how do you feel about all the people that say college should be free?
I would want to assassinate them. Yeah. It's the worst. That's the worst answer.
Yeah.
Everything that leads up to that is bad. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Free?
Yeah.
If you're not investing in yourself like I am every day and investing in real estate to build my legacy, if you don't have skin in the game, there's a very different feeling inside of you.
Yeah. But Andy, like, I'm not like you. I haven't figured out who I am. And so I'm going to go to college for 7 years and party like a rock star. And
no, you're going to go intern for free for 2 straight years and find out what you like.
Join the military.
Yeah, do that.
Peace Corps. Do something.
Travel.
Go travel Europe. Like,
bring a camera and a backpack. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, you have to taste a lot when you're young.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to just be super ambitious and did a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
I found out what I was really good at.
Yep.
And then I keep reinventing myself to learn new stuff.
Yeah. Don't you think books? So first of all, just to clarify for the person that like is just like screw Tom Ferry because I'm a teacher, right? Like listen, I love all my teachers. I am a teacher.
Me too.
My whole point is if you're gonna go to college, look, if you want to be if you're going to go get a trade, like I want to become a lawyer. I want to become a doctor. I want to be a pilot. Like, if it's a trade, then you go to the appropriate school and you get your trade, right? And then there's a fair
make sure it's because what you want to do and not mom and dad.
1,000%, right? That's a whole other conversation. We just defer that all to Gary Vee and let him just go, go for days on it. So I want to be clear, like if I was reinventing the education system, there would be trade schools everywhere in America, right? Everyone would be required to read things like strength finders, get their DISC profile. Let's try and find what is your most natural DNA, right? Because like if you want to be a ballerina or a dancer, awesome, right?
But if you suck,
well, yes, like right, there's that too. But like, then go do that, right? But like, are you going to go spend like $70,000-$90,000 a year to go to Juilliard and like that just feels irresponsible.
You took the words out of my mouth.
We've got $21 trillion in debt as a country for a reason. Like there's a lot of shit that's being propagated here.
There's a lot of student debt. Yep. There's a stock market that's kind of full of a little bit of ice cream, a little bit of bubble gum.
Yep.
People are talking trash about the real estate market.
Yeah.
What I talked, it was one of my first YouTube videos 2 years ago. I said, I think for the first time, we're in a little bit of an issue with real estate. We're in a massive, massive problem with student debt.
Yep.
And we have a stock market that's being fluffed up. This could be really bad. Don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but I was talking about it because it's the way I felt. Yeah. Because there's so many people, so many millennials that I talk to, they're like, I hate what I went to school for.
Yeah.
It's such a common conversation.
Or like Tristan over here, who's an insane videographer, would said, I went to college, and the first 2 years I was just doing what I had to do because it was what I thought I wanted to do, and then I found my passion, and then finished strong, and now he's in his passion. Like, so there's got to be, like, wouldn't it be cool if there was just, like, that's why I go back to strength finders and disc, like something, and I'm not attached to either one of those, some way to identify with what are you passionate about. But here's the thing, go back to that kid who's 4 years old, or in the 4th grade, who finds themselves in a fixed mindset. Well, they get passionate about nothing. Right? So video games are a great outlet, partying, whatever. Wait, maybe reading in the library and never talking to anybody. Like, I don't know. My whole point is we have a societal issue, right? It is so clear. Like, and I get like the hardcore people, the 1%ers, we should get them, right? And like, like you spend more, go to Israel, go talk to 50 owners of companies in Israel about how they feel about the Palestinians. And they all like go like this, I'm friends with all of them, right? What they say is it's the radical 1% on this side and the radical 1% on our side that create all the noise, and that's what makes the news.
That's right.
Right now, I'm not saying that there aren't things that are happening in that region of the world. I'm mindful. Like, I've been there many times. Like, I understand it. But it's that radical 1% on both sides. So maybe we're being a little radical on one side.
True, and I completely agree. But there's enough data to speak to this point.
No doubt.
It needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And there's so many creatives out there that are being told they should do something else.
Yeah.
And it's really taking 10 years off of their growth as an entrepreneur, or they're starting it when they're 30 and now they don't have the same kind of, anyways, we could talk about this for a million years.
Okay, totally random. You're a sommelier. Do you still drink?
No.
So you don't drink at all?
I drink a little bit here and there, but for me.
Not the way you did when you were a sommelier.
No. So I was going to be a fireman. Like, that's what I was going to do my whole entire life. I was working at Walt's Wharf in Seal Beach. Walt was my first mentor, an amazing human being, and he told me to always buy the land and buy the dirt. So there's a whole awesome story behind that. But I loved that man and trusted him and believed in him. His son was a winemaker. He came to the restaurant where I was waiting tables. I knew there was white wine, red wine, and pink wine. Yeah. Knew nothing. He was talking so passionately about wine and how it's made and like the smells and the sipping, like, I fell in love. 6 weeks later, I'm in Bordeaux trying to learn how to become the youngest sommelier in the country. I wanted to be one of 3 that passed the exam at 21. Yeah. So it changed my whole entire trajectory of my life. Fell in love, wanted to know everything about it. And when I was 30, I was like, I'm drinking too much. Yeah. So I slowed down, stopped for like 4 years, started back up again. And
became an athlete, right?
Totally.
Reset your health and vitality, change your identity.
Absolutely. I totally changed my identity from I'm the wine guy to I'm this healthy athlete that's invested in real estate. Yeah. Told myself a different conversation. And, now I have wine like every once in a while. It was my whole world. Yeah. But because there was a pain point that I let myself start to abuse it a little bit. It wasn't just the wine. I'm like, I'm trying to fill a hole here. I need to hit pause. Yeah. But I'm self-aware enough to know that'll become a problem.
Okay, there's a killer book. I just ordered it by the recommendation of a friend of mine who is admittedly a raging alcoholic and now has not had any alcohol in the last year and a half. And it's completely changed his life. Yeah. But I got to find it was one of the hot books on Apple, right? That when they send out the here's the top 10 books being downloaded on iTunes or whatever it is. I'll find it, but it's basically it's basically about getting control of your alcohol.
It's so important. If you want to work out in the morning and you just drink a bottle of wine because you had a stressful day, you're going to work out at 50%. Yep. Most people do exactly that.
That's if you work out.
If you work out, or you punt it and you're worried about, and now you don't. Now you don't want to do Facebook Live because your face is bloated or puffy, and now you're not. It's this. And listen, everybody has their stuff. You want to drink? Cool.
I'm an investor, by the way, in 2 alcohol companies. So I'm not completely dogging. I'm just, I was curious.
I own a bar in Long Beach.
Okay, got it. Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I get it. Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's all for me. It was slowing me down. Yeah. I just turned 42, and I'm like,
damn, you're old.
I know. I'm literally just crushed. And what's funny is, man, I literally feel like I'm barely even starting. Like just getting rolling. Yeah. Tom, This has been incredible, my friend.
Yeah.
I could literally sit here and just talk to you all day long about this. I
Yeah.
love where you're at in your business. I love where you're at in your head and your body, your spiritual path as a father and as a husband, and you pride yourself in all of those fields and categories.
Yep.
And you're killing it, man. Super, super proud
Thanks,
of you.
buddy.
Love watching the journey.
Yeah.
And where can all of these people find you? Because some are going to know exactly who you are. It's like,
Sure.
I can't believe he's there. Other people's like, who is this great guy?
You know, basically there's this really cool site that people go to about 90% of the day, which is called Google.
Yep.
And if you just type in my name, you know, whatever your favorite channel is, I'm there. Like I probably, like YouTube and Instagram would probably be the places where I'm the most active.
Yeah, me too.
But if you hit me up on Twitter, I'm the only one that responds, you know, because I speak oftentimes just in emojis, right? Heart, poop, you know, arm, right? So, and it's, you know, like people get a guess like what I really mean, but usually it's heart, I love you, thank you, you know.
Sure.
You know, LinkedIn, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. But I would say check out my show on YouTube. You can kind of get a sense of the body of work and how long I've been doing it, from like old school ghetto, like flip video camera, holding it. Hey, welcome to Life by Design, your place, you know, like, you know, to Tom Ferry show with like 3 videographers, 2 writers, and, you know, everybody else.
But that's the progression.
Yeah.
Because you decided to go all in on your
100%.
marketing, all in on your branding.
Yep.
And then you put your head down.
Yeah. I'm showing my clients exactly like, because we're in a different business, but we're in the same exact business. Like business is business is business.
Business is business. If it's real estate, if it's sales, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And please go check out his website. He's got some really cool stuff there. He's got some events. Your big event is here in Anaheim?
Yep, in Anaheim. It'll be our 16th annual Success Summit, and it's going to be actually ready. So this will be the first time we announce it. So myself, Tom Bilyeu, working on Dr. Daniel Amen, who's a dear friend of mine, the Healthy Brain Doctor, and I don't want to misquote it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, Chris Voss on negotiations, right?
Nice.
So, but it's an insane event. It's like many conferences you would go to that, you know, I'm there for the entire time, but I'm on the main stage maybe for half the time. And then it breaks out into these just radical breakout session masterminds led by top agents, right? People that are just killing it at some aspect of their business, sharing with everybody else. So it's a really beautiful experience.
And that's huge because there's so many little pieces of the event. They talk about branding, they talk about marketing, talk about social media, listing appointments. They talk about, and a huge piece of my message is, do you understand the duplex, triplex, and fourplex business if you're a residential agent? Because you probably should. Because maybe buying a condo is not the best move for your client.
100%.
But if you don't have the knowledge of these spaces and you're fearful of it, you never bring it up.
Yeah.
Especially with like the climate of the real estate market. So Tom, amazing.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
I so look forward to more of these, and I'll be at the event for sure.
Awesome, buddy.
Have a great day,
much.
Like I do a lot of due diligence. Because you have to.
I'm a singles and doubles guy. Like, you know.
That's good though. So you probably know Kathy Fettke and that whole crew from Real Worth Network. She's massive in that. So they have this group, and she has a podcast that's pretty big.
In real estate, singles and doubles. Investing in companies, it's all about unicorns.
Of course. But she only preaches buy as many single-family houses as you can.
No, not singles and doubles, 1 door, 2 door. Singles and doubles, like just give me, you know.
Oh, singles and doubles, like basically.
Give me better than California municipal bonds.
Yes, exactly.
Which are, you look at no state tax, no federal tax.
Yes.
It's really, you know, it's double the return if you really look at it on a gross market. But, you know, like anything better than that, I'm like, with just cash, like that makes sense to me.
And it's safe, and that's why I like to park at some place that's warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. Cool.